Hey everyone, welcome back to the studio. I'm trying out these Ohuhu alcohol markers today. It is a new medium that I've never used before on this channel because I usually use watercolors. However, I've always been interested in using alcohol markers. When I see other artists using them on YouTube, I really admire how smooth they can get their colors and how it's not as time consuming or as messy as painting with watercolors. So today I'm going to be trying out these Ohuhu double-ended markers. If you have never heard of Ohuhu, they are a cheaper alternative to the expensive Copic markers, but they do not sacrifice on the quality. This is going to be my personal experience with using Ohuhu markers. I do not consider myself an expert at them since I'm relatively new, and this is just my personal opinion of them. For the illustrations that I'm demoing today, I am drawing two birds. One is going to be a blue jay and the other one is a robin. And I am inking it with a waterproof brush pen. This is the Sakura Pigma brush pen. And it's very important that it's waterproof so that when I go over with the alcohol markers, it won't smudge or bleed. I have been really obsessed with drawing birds lately, as you might have known if you saw my previous video or have seen some of the pictures I've been posting on Instagram. I just feel like a lot of birds are coming out in the spring right now, and I'm just really inspired by the texture of their feathers, and it lends itself really well to my current illustration style. I usually wait about an hour or so before I go in with the color so I can be sure that the ink is absolutely dry. As for the sketchbook, I am using a Midori MD blank notebook. It's not actually a sketchbook, but I really like how the ink and the alcohol marker shows up on the paper. If you've ever used alcohol markers, you'll know that unless you're using really thick paper or specially formulated marker paper, it is going to ghost or bleed through. This paper is very thin, so I've placed some scrap paper behind the page that I'm working on. It's definitely going to go through to the other side, but the scrap paper will at least prevent it from going into the pages that they're on after. I don't really mind, I just don't use the backside of this page, but just wanted to let you know that alcohol marker does bleed through. What I like about these markers is that the alcohol ink is super fast drying. This is much faster than using watercolors, which saves me a ton of time. Because it dries so fast, it's also virtually smudge free, and the colors are very vibrant and they have a pretty good selection. I have this set of 48 markers, which is about $35. To put that into perspective, 6 Copic markers is also $35. However, the Ohuhu markers don't sacrifice on quality, and having used both Copics and Ohuhus before, I would say that it's very, very similar experience. This is definitely a viable option if you're considering alcohol markers as an art medium, but you don't want to shell out a ton of money to try it out. Earlier in the video, I mentioned that I'm pretty new to alcohol markers. I should have specified that I'm new to alcohol markers with a brush tip. I actually bought a set of 80 chisel and bullet-tipped Ohuhu markers back in 2017, but I never really got the hang of using them. I didn't really like using a chisel tip to blend, and that's not really the marker's fault because I really prefer to use the brush tip over the chisel tip. I ended up donating most of my chisel tip markers to a local teen art program, and I've heard that the teens really like using them. I'm much more inclined to use the brush tip version because they're more flexible, and the brush tip allows me to make painterly strokes, which suits my style much more. Since my drawing style incorporates a lot of detail, the fine brush tip is very important to me. I can tell that Ohuhu has made a lot of improvements over the years. From 2017 to now, I can tell that they have improved their marker design, and I really enjoy the fact that they have brush tips available. I had so much fun using these Ohuhu markers to lay down the color on these illustrations. I wish that you could get refills for certain colors or buy individual markers, because I can already tell that I like using a lot of the lighter shades to blend, and I like layering it on top of each other to get depth. I think it is a good deal to start off a marker collection. It's so affordable. You get so many markers for less than $1 per marker. For me, I just wanted to see if alcohol markers was a medium that I wanted to continue using, and I really enjoyed using them without having to invest in a super expensive marker set. Since I come from a watercolor background, I was using these alcohol markers in a painterly way. I have seen a lot of YouTube videos where people lay down flat, even layers of color. But for me, I think that using it in this way really lends itself well to my current illustration style. It took a little bit of time for me to get used to blending, but I found that similar to watercolors, it's best to start with the light colors first, blend it into the dark colors, and then go back in with a light marker to smooth out all of the edges to create a gradation. I think that these markers are so convenient because I don't have to wait for things to dry. I made these illustrations in a fraction of the time, and I think that it'd be really cool to take these on a nature sketching session or something like that. I really enjoyed this set of markers, and in the future I do think that I would like to invest in more shades, and especially lighter shades, so that I can layer the colors. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me trying out Ohuhu alcohol markers. I've linked the set of 48 dual tip markers below, so go check that out if you're interested. Let me know if you have any questions about alcohol markers or Ohuhu. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Happy art making, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.